Hi, welcome to the small shed. This Saturday we're back in the shed and working on a Welsh love spoon. See you in a minute. So let's start with a few apologies. I've not been in the shed for a couple of months on and off, mainly because I've just been too busy doing so many other things that aren't anything to do with the shed. We've had people coming to stay, we've been away down half term, it's been our golden wedding anniversary, so we went away for a few days, and it's just been like that for a couple of months of chaos, so I've not got anything done much in here. Done a few bits and pieces, some of which aren't worthy of video because they were either a 2-minute repair of a coffee machine or something like that, or they're things that I've done before. So as I say, many apologies for that. A few little bits have got done and I have videoed, so I've been videoing whenever I have been in here, but that is few and far between, and I think what's going to happen as and when I start getting more time to do editing, I'm going to find that they'll be a little bit sketchy in terms of things being hit and miss. You'll get sort of strange jumps in progress on projects, or I'll keep repeating myself because I can't remember what I said 3 months ago. But there's stuff in the pipeline. Hopefully I can start and get a little bit further back into getting some production out once every fortnight or so anyway. Still going to be a little bit hit and miss, I think, but we're back, I think, doing something today, and let's see what we can get done with this little love spoon. So this is the article in question. It's not mine. This is something that one of the fellow shedders has been working on. He's sort of hand carved it and done a bit of Dremel work on it. It's for his 10th wedding anniversary, so he's a bit of an amateur compared to those of us that have just had 50. He wants 10th anniversary written through it. He gives his wife one of these every year on their anniversary, and he's made this one. And of course with that comes the risk and worry that I get with these things that I had with the little box we did as a presentation for one of our other shed members, in that somebody spent an awful lot of time and effort working on this, and I'm going to be there burning words into it, and if anything goes wrong I've got a massive problem really. So what I think I want to do, it's a straightforward case of using the little laser engraver, so you've seen me do that before, and I think in this instance it's not about the engraving, it's how I'm going to go about doing it in a manner that is reasonably controlled and something that I can go into gently without causing any massive damage with the first burn. Make sure it's all alright, but that nothing's going to move in the meantime. So it's down to my favourite thing, which is a jig. I've just got a little bit of ply I've cut as a base, which I'm going to use as a starting point. What I want to do is to anchor this down in some manner, whether I either do it with a bit of wire through it or double-sided tape, it doesn't really matter. But the first thing I've got to do is go and find a bit of timber for some rails that will support the actual printer on top of it at the right height, because the focusing height of the laser is the bottom of the feet level, so I need to be up here with it. So I'll go and find a couple of bits of timber which are, oh look, see how thick this is. It's probably about 18 or 20 mil, I'm guessing. Yeah, 20 mil. So I need a couple of pieces of timber that 20 mil, and if I can, I think I'd like to try and find a bit of timber that's somewhere similar to this. It's a hardwood, I don't know what, but if I can find a dark hardwood, it'll give me a chance to do a burn on something that's similar but not this to start with, and then we can come back and work from there. So let's go and have a look in the wood pile and see what we can find. Okay, so I found a bit of the old tulip wood that we used to get from the scrap store before it closed. that is, I think, about the right height. Whip that in half. I've also found a bit of walnut, which is similar in colour. Don't quite know, probably that one I think. Similar thickness, similar sort of colouring. Just going to tidy that up a bit. That will probably lighten it up anyway, but just to get me a little bit closer to a similar surface to that. So we'll get started and cut that up first and then get the thing fitted. $540, that's $270. Use a bit of mitre bond. There's not a lot of point in bothering to screw it or anything from underneath because it's a temporary thing. So usually the way with these things that the jig takes 10 times longer than the actual job, but the chances of getting a problem are much less, and it's usually would take an awful lot more time if you didn't have the jig because you'd be fiddling around more. So that should give me a sort of a working area that we can set the printer up in so that it's okay, and then we can adjust where the spoon goes once we know where the writing is coming up. I've got to sort the typeface out, which is the next thing to do. Make sure I get the spelling right and everything else, and we'll get the laptop out and plug it all up together. So first thing I need to do is find a typeface that I'm happy with. It's obviously it's a difficult one when it's not your choice, it's not your product, but I wanted to get this done for tomorrow, so I haven't got a lot of time to start getting in touch with people and finding out if they've got any particular preference. But I think it'll have to be something reasonably traditional, and probably, yeah, something like Times New Roman, which is got serifs on it. It's not what I would normally choose for myself, but I think it's the sort of thing that will look right on here. Ideally, I suppose it could be like a Celtic sort of typeface, but don't think we've got anything on here that's remotely close. We'll just work our way through them. As I say, I think it wants to be quite traditional. Parchment looks interesting, but it might be too complicated for being able to read what it says, if you see what I mean. I think the thing to do is to write in first what I need to do, and then worry about it afterwards. 10, anniversary. We'll make it a bit bigger at the moment. And again, getting it to fit will be the next problem, because the spoon itself has got quite a narrow area where there's a decent area that you can go on it. I think I can get the 10th okay there, but the anniversary bit is a little bit more difficult to find. So let's just try that parchment one. No, that's far too fancy. Papyrus doesn't show the words. Old English text, bit too traditional, I think. Oh, that's nice. Monotype Corsiva. Yes, I think I like that one. And then we can set it up on that. Excuse the noise, it sounds like the son-in-law's up in the police helicopter by the sound of it again. So excuse the noise of the police helicopter above. Right, so that's done the first pass to try it out, and that looks quite nice. All I've got to do now is see whether or not that's likely to fit on there, which I think it will if I get that letter A before it gets too narrow here. I think I can get that to work, and then we'll go for a very light burn with very little cutting on it, just to see how I can get it to work on there. But I've got to find a way of anchoring that down. Right, so the police helicopter's gone away. I've emptied the sound card, the video card off the video record, the camera, so we can get on with it. That is what I've got at the moment, which I think will work. It probably wants to be slightly smaller to get over this gap in the middle where it goes to being slightly rounded. I don't know, maybe it'll be okay. So I think the next thing to do is to sort of try and determine where it's going to be on the spoon and do a very light pass. I'll set the engraving down to probably about 10% rather than 100, and then try and just get a very light mark on it. That way if I screw it up, we can just sand it out without it being a problem, and no one will ever know except us. So we get some tape, just hold this down. I haven't got any double-sided in here, I don't think, but let's see if we can't just get it running on there, see what it looks like. It looks pretty good. So I'll just anchor it down so that if I then need to do a second pass with a bit more power, the thing won't be moving around. I don't think it's likely, as long as I don't touch anything, but what tends to happen is you'll drop something on the bench or something and it will just move stuff around. That can be attached that way, I think. Right, so we just put it back the other way. Double check again that it's going okay. Right, let's go for a very light 5%, 10% burn. See what happens. I think it's so light that it's not even burning, so we'll stop that. We'll turn it up to 40%. That's got the first burn on. The double N in anniversary is a little bit light, probably because it's got a certain amount of rounding over on it. So I'm just now going to go whip it back up to 100% burn. Happy with it otherwise. Just had a minor panic when you start to doubt whether you've spelt anniversary right, but I've just double checked it and that is correct. Well, that's it for better or for worse. It's had its 2 runs. I can't see any problems or reasons why I shouldn't take it all apart now, so we'll disconnect the device, switch it off, take it off, and that's a load off mine. Going to say I'll give it a very light rub over with a bit of sandpaper, but I don't think I need to. There's normally a bit of burning around the surface, but there isn't in this instance. So that, I think, has done what I wanted to. It's got me what I needed. Let's just have a close look at it. So I can take that back to sheds tomorrow and get it back to its owner. Pleased with that. Okay, that's got the little spoon done. I'm pleased with that. That's the first job I've done in about 6 or 7 weeks, where I've come out here, planned something out, done it, finished it, done the video, can go in the house now and edit it, and it's all done in one package, which is much more rewarding than doing a 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there on a project with half a dozen different projects on the go and not remembering where you were on any of them. So hopefully I can now start and get a few more videos out, start and get under control some of the things that are on the go. There are about 3 or 4 major projects on at the moment. The button table, I've got a TV unit I'm doing, there's a lot of 3D printing stuff going on and other bits and pieces, so need to just try and get myself under control with those again, because I'd gone off the rails again, and hopefully we can get some more content flowing. So hope you enjoyed the video, look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks time. See you then, bye.